Hey guys, so we're back. We're 18 weeks out from Baton Rouge, going for Boston Qualifier. And so I think we're at the point where I got a realistic idea kind of where we're at currently, I think, at least for training purposes. And we're also going to, we need to start kind of accounting for the things that could potentially go wrong, like the known problems we could potentially face this fall, so we can account for it. Because just like on race day, there are some things you can't control, right? But, like the weather, right? But if you know what it is, you can account for it so you're prepared, right? And so the big problems we potentially face this fall are, one, it's hurricane season. So Francis is coming in Gulf Coast. Today's Tuesday, so today's Tuesday. So coming in, making landfall today-ish, tonight, something like that. And so here in northern Louisiana, they don't normally impact us too much. Right now, it's meant the weather up here is beautiful right now. Stay safe down in Lafayette and New Orleans, guys, and down on the coast. But we got the weather, right? Nothing we can do about that. But we can recognize that it happens. And, oh, there goes my neighbor. Nothing you can do about the weather, but you can figure out what it is and act accordingly. Like, if you know it's going to be cold on race day, you make sure you pack your tights, right? If you know it's going to be hot, you make sure you pack your ice buff, that kind of thing. Make sure you hydrate appropriately. So weather. Second problem that we could face this fall is my kids are 4 and 11. Andrew is moving to pre-K. So new school, 4 years old. He's going to get sick, right? And when 4-year-old gets sick, he brings it home, and everyone else gets sick, because that's the way having little kids works, right? And when you're sick, obviously that impacts training, right? My daughter, Lucy, she's 11. She just started at the middle school, and it's the first year she's going to be going, like, changing rooms every class with a different group of kids in every classroom. So the odds of her getting sick this year are also going up, and it's less likely she'll get me sick than Andrew will, but it's just the number of times someone's going to come home sick is going to go up this year, right? And there's only so much I can do about that, so we're just going to be washing our hands a lot. So yeah, weather, kids getting sick, and then we got travel. That's the third one, travel. We know we're going to be traveling some this fall. We're going to go down to, I got to go to New Orleans in October. I think it's October 12th, the same weekend as the Chicago Marathon. If you're going to be in New Orleans for Oktoberfest for the 6K, drop by the tent. The New Orleans Track Club invited me down there to kind of hang out. I'll probably even run it. We'll see. Swing on by, say hey. I'll be super excited to see you, hear what you're up to. And then we're traveling for Thanksgiving. We're going to Disney with my entire extended family. My mom, stepdad, my sisters, and their kids, and their families. Mom wanted to take us all to Disney for Thanksgiving, so that's kind of hard to say no to, So we're going to go down to Disney for Thanksgiving, which means driving all the way to Orlando and back. Obviously, that's going to impact training that week, right? And then Christmas is 3 weeks before the race, and we're going to be driving to North Carolina for that, all the way to Asheville. And that's a good, we could probably do it in a day, but it'll probably end up being 2 days of driving each way, right? Or a day and a half. So needless to say, that's going to impact training on that week as well, right? Around Christmas and New Year's. So those we can account for, though. Like, we can finesse the schedule, move the runs around, that kind of thing, to get in the important stuff. So I'm not too worried about that, right? So 3 big things. Weather, can't do anything about it. Just dress accordingly and do the best you can. Kids getting sick, we're going to wash our hands a lot. We're going to try to get a lot of sleep. We're going to try to stay healthy. We're going to eat right, stay hydrated, do all the things we got to do to stay healthy and not get sick, hopefully. And the third thing is travel, and that's easy to plan around if you know about it ahead of time. So those are the big challenges this fall, and I think we can account for that as we're going for this Boston Qualifier. I don't think the qualifying time for me, at least for this year, it might change for next year, but we'll see. Being 40 is 310. And which means historically you really need a 305 to get in, right? So good luck to everybody who was registering yesterday and this week. But I'm not too worried about being able to make the time, assuming I don't get sick, assuming I can, just do the training, right? I'm not too worried about getting hurt. At this point, fairly confident. Just last week was a 51-mile week, highest mileage I've run in a long damn time. I feel great, nothing's really talking to me, and so that's good. So yeah, that'll be good. 310 is we know we got to run faster than that. 305 is really what we need to run faster than. I think we're going to be targeting probably 245 to 250 on race day. So I don't think that's going to be an issue. The big question is going to be if we're in a position, and we'll talk about this more later down the road, but if we're in a position where we have to choose between really going for it and seeing what we got, but risking blowing up and not being able to punch the ticket to get to Boston. At this point, I'm leaning more towards, if I have to pick and choose, I'd rather punch the ticket to get to Boston. I got some unfinished business to do there. I really wanted a chance to be able to race that race well. And quite frankly, it's been 5 years since I've been there. And yeah, it's a special race. So I want to get back. And so I think if I have to pick and choose, I think I would choose to go to Boston and not run a lifetime PR. But I think that window for that lifetime PR is also closing. So I don't know. There's potential for Avenue of the Giants in the spring too. So we'll see. But for right now, we're going to say the goal is Boston Qualifier with a targeted time of under 250. We're going to train for 245, but I think realistically probably 250 is probably about right, given what long runs with marathon pace efforts have felt like the last couple weeks. So anyway, you guys want to see the trainer for this week? Let's get to that. All right, so pacing Wednesday, the big workouts were Wednesdays. Workout of 5 times a mile, a goal marathon pace, just trying to get a feel for it. The first 2 reps were too fast. The first 200 of the first rep was way too stupid fast. Where everyone's milling around, we're trying to talk about explaining the workout to folks, figure out what we got going on. And thankfully Billy was like, all right, 3, 2, 1, go. And when that happens, you take off. So yeah, we took off. Realistically, probably about 5K pace for that first 200, and we're going through the 200 meter mark. I was like, "Whoa, boy, slow that down." So the first rep was definitely way too damn fast, mostly in that first 400 meters. After that, they evened out a little bit. By the time we were getting done, reps 3, 4, and 5 felt about right. 400 meter recovery on them. Nice and easy. The goal wasn't to break ourselves. The goal was really to dial in goal marathon pace to see where it's at. So we were trying to hit 6:30 because that's about where we need to be to really do what we're trying to do this year. Some easy runs, Thursday, easy recovery day, especially after being up late Wednesday night. Early Wednesday morning to late Wednesday night makes for a long day. So Thursday is typically the day where I'm super chill, run, get a nice little recovery run in after dropping Angel off at school. Friday, more easy miles, little short lift with Julia in the morning. It was good. Again, not too crazy. We were tired. And the priority is the run, right? So we did the lifting, a little bit of stability work, did some core work, all the stuff you need to do to stay injury free when you're training for a marathon. Saturday came around, we hit that kind of the long run for the week, you could argue is the most important run of the week, right? The plan was to go 6 miles easy, and then 3 times 2 miles at goal marathon pace with a mile easy in between them, like a float, just normal easy pace, not like jog or anything. And then cool down to finish. Nice and easy. Ran into Connor and Eric. Shout out to those guys. They're just getting started back up, building their base back up to train for Eugene in the spring. So that'll be cool. Maybe we can con them into coming to Baton Rouge with us. But I ran into them about mile 4.5-ish. And unintentionally ended up getting a mile in at marathon effort without really quite realizing that, because it was uphill on the Greenway and then up by the high school to where they were finishing up. And so I got that mile in, and then left them behind, got like a mile easy in, and then I was like, all right, mile 6, let's go do the thing. 2 times 2 miles, goal marathon pace with a mile easy in between them, heading down the South Greenway. Smooth, flat, felt great. But the problem I ran into is I had a banana before leaving the house. And I had 200 calories of Tailwind in my handheld, and that was it. So by the time we were getting to starting that, what I thought was supposed to be the third rep, like, there just wasn't any pep in the legs. Like, cardiovascularly felt great because it was nice and cool out, it was amazing out weather-wise. And so, like, lungs, heart, everything felt good. The legs were just tired. Like, my hip flexors were getting tired, the low abs were getting tired just from like the knee drive and working. I could tell my stride length was getting a little shorter. And so I knew I was kind of trailing off the pace. So I was like, all right, we're gonna go 1 mile in quality and then just the 3 miles home, to cool down. And sure enough, those 3 miles, that easy pace home was slow as dirt. Because like my hip flexors are just fried, I was out of fuel, which is only the second 16-mile run I've done in a couple of years. So, I'm not too surprised. I was pretty happy about it though when I saw the data, because I hadn't realized that I'd done that mile at marathon pace, or marathon effort with Connor and Eric. So I still got the 6 miles at marathon effort in. One of them was just, running and talking with an undergrad and a recently graduated student who are used to running 8Ks and shorter collegiate cross country kind of stuff. So it was good. I was happy with that workout. What we learned from this week is we need to get better about fueling. So I've already, I'm out of goo packets currently. There's supposed to be some more showing up today, so we should be good to go for this weekend. Wednesday morning this week, tomorrow at the time of filming, we will be running the 5 a.m. workout group. We're just going to do 4 times 5 minutes at threshold. So I'm fairly confident I can have banana or orange or something in the morning when I get up. Take some Tailwind with me in the handheld. I'll be all right. Maybe half a cup of coffee if I'm feeling frisky. But that'll be good. So that'll be that workout. It won't be terribly long. It's a down week, and then we'll lift after dropping the kids off at school. But again, it's recovery week, so I'm not trying to be a hero in the gym this week. Just really kind of looking to kind of do some good quality work and do the things you need to do to stay strong and stay healthy, and like all the things you got to do to live life. This weekend's long run, it's going to be 15 miles easy, I think is the plan. We may change it up a little bit. Maybe we'll put a mile or 2 on the tail end at marathon effort if we're feeling frisky, but it's really important to not get greedy when it's an easy recovery week, because the whole point is to let your body absorb all the training you've done over the last couple weeks and soak it up and recover so you get fitter, right? Because you only get fitter when you're getting recovered. You don't get fitter while you're beating yourself up. So recover this week, soak up the training from the last few weeks, including that 51 miles we put in last week, which would be good. And then next week we'll come around and we'll hit it again. So till next week, guys, train smart.